What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome into the Hoop Hogs video mailbag. Curtis Wilkerson here with Inside Arkansas and the Pod at the Palace, coming to you once again with our daily Razorback basketball Q&A. We're in the middle of our player preview series where we were asked, hey, could you just take the top 9 guys in the rotation, break them down, talk strengths, weaknesses, expectations, check out a little bit of film? Yep, we absolutely can do that. We've done Nelly Davis, Boogie Flan, Adou Thiero, Trevin Brazil. And now we're moving on. We're going in order by number on the roster to number 9. Shout out to Jonas Aidoo for rocking number 9. I imagine that's probably a first for Arkansas. Listen, when you are tasked with building a full roster in the middle of the spring, in the offseason, one of the top things I think on the to-do list is to find an anchor in the front court, somebody to kind of hold down the paint, right? And it just doesn't get much better than Jonas Aidoo, quite frankly, a guy who was all SEC last season. He averaged about 11, 7, 2 blocks on a team that went to the Elite Eight. You know, not only was Aidoo one of the top prizes in the transfer portal, I think he was a top 10 portal prospect overall, one of the top 2 or 3 centers available. He comes, man, as just an extremely sound and well-developed big man out of Tennessee under Rick Barnes. If there's one thing he can do, they call him regular season Rick or whatever, but that moniker might not work anymore because they advanced to the second weekend to the Elite Eight. But there is no doubt that man does a wonderful job developing bigs year in and year out. And Jonas Aidoo is one of them. So experience, check. Production, check. The most improved player, in my opinion, and it's not even that close in the SEC last season, check. Because 2 years ago to last year in terms of production went through the roof for Jonas Aidoo. Fun player. I think Arkansas fans are really, really going to enjoy him. 47 dunks last season for Jonas Aidoo. You love that. Above the rim, big fella for a center. 6 of those came against the Razorbacks when Tennessee came in there and whipped up on them by 30. So, you know, Jonas Aidoo, he busted Arkansas's ass in Bud Walton Arena, and now he's going to be wearing a Razorback uniform in Bud Walton Arena. Got a quick little practice clip to show you guys of Aidoo just to see what he's been up to this summer. Yep, switches 9. He's wearing 10 at practice. Come on, bro. All right. Split the bigs there for a little dunk. Oh, is he showing off the jumper? What? Jonas Aidoo showing off the jumper? What's going on here? You know, it's really interesting because something I was told when he was in the transfer portal was that one of the things he was looking for was the opportunity to shoot more threes. And I think he shot a handful at Tennessee, not too many, not a big part of his game. Doesn't look awful, but I don't know. Like if Cal is telling Trevin Brazil and Big Z not to shoot threes in practice, I don't know how much he's letting Jonas Aidoo do it. So it'll be interesting to see if he's letting him fly. But man, a coveted prospect. Baylor wanted him bad. North Carolina wanted him bad. Arkansas got him. So anyway, doesn't look half bad there, the jumper. He can put it on the deck against a big man there. There you go. Oh, Trevin Brazil on his head. Okay. All right. Interesting. You love to see it. Fun stuff there. Cool little practice clips. Nothing too crazy, but we got some actual game film we'll check out in a minute. You know, it's interesting. Strengths for Jonas Aidoo, right? I think we kind of know what we're going to get out of him. Rim protection for sure. Runs the floor really well. I think he moves very well laterally for his size. He's fundamentally sound. You'll see in the clip here that we're going to show shortly that his back to the basket game, his footwork, how he can defend in the pick and roll. I think he'll be an asset there. How he can operate in dribble handoff action offensively. Reliable little mid-range game. We saw him shooting the 3 there, but I remember he was knocking, if he wasn't dunking on somebody's head against Arkansas, he was knocking down that mid-range. It looked pretty good there. So he's a pretty versatile player in terms of the plus skills I think that he brings to the table there. Weaknesses for Aidoo. One, how healthy is he, right? Because we've all seen the team photo with him in a boot, and you're wondering about it. Like, yeah, he's missed some time this summer. He's been in and out. He's been in and out of that boot. So you wonder if he's been able to take the next step in his development. Has he been able to get the most out of his time with Kenny Payne, the big man whisperer, right? So we'll see on that front, but you need him 100% for the season, no doubt about it. There's this myth out there that Jonas Aidoo is soft. That's just not the case. Soft guys do not play in the front court for Rick Barnes. It's just not a thing. All right. It's been a team in the front court and around the rim that's bullied Arkansas, who's had some tough teams over the past few years. If you're soft, you don't play for Rick Barnes. So he's not soft, but he does struggle, or when he does struggle, I think it's against the more physical bruiser type of centers. And that's not uncommon for guys with his skill set. A little bit, he's a traditional center. He's a true center, but he's more modern in terms of length, athleticism, the way that he moves. But that's something that you'd like to see him work on a little bit. I think he dominates average and good competition, but he still needs to level up a little bit when the competition heats up. Struggled with Zach Edey in the NCAA tournament. Who the hell doesn't, besides Chandler Lawson? We know Chandler Lawson doesn't struggle with Zach Edey. Everybody else in the country does. He had a tough time with Janai Broome, Hunter Dickinson, which, hey, we're going to be able to see right away what Jonas Aidoo is made of in Bud Walton Arena, October 25th, slobber hog on the floor, him versus Hunter Dickinson. And in some of these games, though, it's a little bit misleading because you look at Jonas Aidoo's stats and it's like, damn, he had a double-double in this game, or wow, man, he really stuffed the stat sheet in this game. What do you mean? But it's the opposing big who has a big game kind of deal. Like, I think he might have been flirting with a triple-double even against Kansas and Maui last year. And you're thinking, wow, man, he looks pretty good. But then you look over to the opposite end of the box score and Hunter Dickinson had like 20 and 17. That's where you got to get better and where you have to improve, right? So let's take a little look here it's a game highlight from one of their games last season that I found on Twitter. And we'll take a look at that, and you'll be able to see some of the things that Jonas brings to the table, some of the things that he does well, and we'll talk about it as we go through it here. I like this. Face up, but then goes back to the basket, boom. That's what I mean by the footwork, the back to the basket game, where he spins that thing back, left hand off the glass over the right shoulder. That's big man fundamentals 101. You don't see too much of that anymore. How many guys do you see in college basketball who post up and go back to the basket anymore? Not that many. You really don't. But that's smooth down there. I hope they enter that ball into the post and let him go to work every single time he has an ISO on somebody this season. Looks good. Kick out. Here we go with that three ball again. Whatever. Like, if he gets I would rather him maybe crash there and get a lob. But if Jonas Aidoo is going to shoot threes for Arkansas, those are the ones you want him to shoot, where he's just chilling. Help collapses off of him because they just do not respect his ability to shoot at all. Kick out. You got a wide open catch and shoot three with your feet set. Those you can live with. I'm 100% okay with that. He needs to spend a vast majority of his time with his big ass parked right where it is in the clip right now, in the paint. That's where we want to see it. Let's check out a little bit of defense here. Hanging out, this is what you're going to get. Great instincts, great rim protection. And this is going to be a big thing for Arkansas's guards too, because if I'm Boogie Fland or DJ Wagner, Nelly Davis, whoever, out there defending on the perimeter, I know that I can be a little bit more aggressive. I can gamble every now and then for a steal. I can really get in somebody's shorts, try to make them uncomfortable, knowing that, hey, if they get by me, I got a hell of a last line of defense in Jonas Aidoo back there protecting the rim. That's huge for this team to have, and he was just waiting for that one. But he's good stepping over weak side and blocking shots when those guards drive on you. And he's also good at walling up, being a post defender, and altering shots around the rim against bigs as well. What we got here? He's going to get in this passing lane. Yep, there you go. He's long, and like I said, he moves well. There you go. Now, I don't know how much we're going to see that. We saw Trevor Brazil do it in the clip that we put out yesterday. But yeah, man, if he can jump the lane like that, and he runs like a deer at 6'11", 240 pounds. So sure, why not, big fella? Get out there and do it. I like it. Nice basket cut there. There's one of his 47 dunks on the season. I don't even know why this clip was in there. It had nothing to do with Jonas Aidoo. But anyway, there's the dribble handoff action. See, perfect. Now, it would have been easy for him to just hand that ball right back off. And then he probably could have rolled to the rim. Maybe he would have got a lob or whatever. But he was patient. He turned and faced. He was comfortable with it, delivered a great pass there for a layup. That's really good stuff. That's high IQ basketball. Good job by Aidoo. Trailing again. Yeah, then he gets the matchup on the guard. That's easy money. What do we got here? All right, let's see a little defend on the perimeter. Good job. Yeah, didn't give up too much ground. Sometimes when you're a big man, you give too much cushion as soon as somebody puts it on the floor because you don't want to get beat. He didn't do that because he's mobile enough to guard a guy like that on the perimeter, and then he contests the jump shot. It's really hard to block a jump shot. It was not hard for him. And then runs the floor, gets rewarded, foul, goaltend, boom. Yep, just relocating. Just playing smart there. And that's a physical move. You know, like if he was soft, he wouldn't have finished that with all that contact. Good. Moving his feet well there. Recovers. He might have gotten beat on the initial crossover, but then he recovers, gets back, and contests the shot. Well done. Something tells me this isn't going to work out for this young fella. It did not. Walled up. Didn't swat down. Stayed vertical. He didn't even have to really leave his feet on that one because he had the size advantage. Some pick and roll action. Do you see how he rolled short there? That's another high IQ basketball play. A lot of times you'll see a big set of screen like that, and they don't really read what the defense is doing. They just know, oh, I picked, now I got to roll, and they just turn and sprint to the rim. He went to the open space and waited there. That's something that Mekhi Mitchell was really good at. Jalen Graham was really good at that. Rolled to open space, receives the pass. Another thing that you'll see a lot of times then is if a big is 10 feet, 12 feet from the rim, they put it on the floor, they get called for a charge right away. He didn't, and he just makes a pass behind a defender's back to a cutter, and then he stays involved in the play. His guy misses the shot. There he is, boom, for the putback dunk. That's a really good sequence from Jonas Aidoo. That's why he was an all-SEC player last year. More good perimeter defense, walls up, gets vertical, plays tough, didn't give up too much ground. And then, again, he stays involved in the play, second, third shot there, and he gets the rebound. Except we got another post up here. Gets it. Yeah, you had him on your hip, went middle, but then he misses it, fine, stays with it, gets the offensive rebound, sticks it back there. I'm really, really excited about Jonas Aidoo and what he brings to the table. If the dude is healthy, he's going to be a hell of a force in the paint for Arkansas. We've mentioned it with other guys, but he's a great complement at the 5 with Big Z. I think that's a hell of a platoon right there. I think there are going to be certain matchups, not all, because of defensive things, where those two guys could play together. I love the idea of him and Trevin Brazil playing together, where, you know, Brazil can space the floor from 3. It gives Aidoo a lot of room to operate inside from block to block. I really like the idea defensively. Think about this. If you've got Adou Thiero at the 4 and you've got Jonas Aidoo at the 5, that is a hell of a defensive front court. Really, really good. There's one clip. I'm so mad at myself that I didn't pull up. When I do the Adou Thiero, damn, I've already done it. This makes me mad. Okay, well, whoever is next on this, I'm going to start by pulling up a clip that I found of, it was Jonas Aidoo and Adou Thiero's Tennessee versus Kentucky. And Thiero was like switched off on the Aidoo, and those two guys were battling like crazy for position in the post. And credit to Thiero, because he was not afraid to get physical with Aidoo, and those guys were throwing each other around, but Aidoo could not get the entry pass from Thiero in there. So for people who are like, oh, could Adou really play small ball center? Yeah, he probably could if he had to in a pinch, but dang it, I wish I had that clip. I'm mad at myself. The Torvik projections for Jonas Aidoo, he averaged about 11-7 last year. They're picking him to have about 11-7 this year. So almost exactly the same as last season. And I think you take that for sure if you're Arkansas, but a hell of a foundational piece in the front court, really on both ends of the floor. Arkansas is a better team for having Jonas Aidoo, and excited to see what he does in a Razorback uniform. So going to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow with another one. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Make sure you get subscribed Inside Arkansas, follow along with the Hoop Hogs video mailbag. That way you can see all of these and get caught up on everything we've been doing now for more than 50 days. And we're going to keep them rolling here every single morning at 8 a.m. Appreciate you guys. Ben Curtis Wilkerson, Pot the Palace. We'll catch you again in the morning. Have a good one.